Well, good morning, YouTube friends and family. And did you see my dirty little secret? I was thinking yesterday as I was making the No Spend January video, I thought, while it isn't safe to show all your prepping because it could attract people should things go really south to want to rob you of food. And I certainly hope and pray that never happens, but I feel like I was a little cryptic on that video, so I thought, I'm just going to come back on and share with you why it isn't safe, in my opinion, to show your pantry. So this morning, I was like, okay, you took a day break from your pantry. You really need to get back on and just finish it up. So behind me is what I call my Kleenex size pantry. And while it's small, I did not mean to sound like I was ungrateful for the storage space, because I'm certainly glad to have it. And until I started prepping, this was actually adequate. I hate and despise grocery shopping. Always have, probably always will. So typically I would wait pre-prepping until the only two things in my pantry were like pickles and Tic Tacs, and then I would break down and go to the store. But since I've started prepping, and I'm prepping with a list and with some logic, even though I have made some mistakes, like 14 jars of peanut butter. And I should explain that. I did not buy 14 jars of peanut butter. I've shared in the past that I have utilized the food pantry. And I go to the end of the line and I get the things that are left over, or that they have an overstock of, that other people did not want. And it is a drive-through. So you're not going in and like picking things off the shelf. It's, you drive up, you pop your trunk, and it's surprise when you get home. And while I'm super grateful for it, they must have really had an overstock of peanut butter. However, they're very small jars, so that's a good thing. I will use quite a bit of it, and I'm going to share it, as in donating, and also with my son, who will eat some peanut butter as well. So anyway, what I've done this morning is I took almost everything out of my pantry. There are a couple things I did not take out, just simply because they're fine the way they are. And when I was doing my big pantry, I started organizing. But anytime you're going to do a reset on your supplies and how they're organized, I think it's good to just take everything out. So please excuse the mess, because there is literally stuff everywhere. So I took everything out, and I told you I was going to do a pantry redo on a budget, and I really did. So I have take this out, the wire shelving. And because my house is 24 years old, and because I've overloaded the shelves, not only do they tilt back, they sag. So I started a while back using boxes to try and provide like a clean and a sturdier place for putting cans and things. I also am not a huge fan of the wire shelves, because if you're using storage containers, sometimes they fall in the gap, and so then everything's tilted, and that's just maddening. So I have put clean boxes in all my shelves, and let me show you what I've done so far. So hold on. Oh, it's hard getting old, And oh my word, I didn't turn on the light. Okay, well now, hello, good morning. Looks like I've got some makeup on my face, so please excuse that. So what I've done here is I have one of those tilty can organizers, and that actually works really well so that you can see at a glance what you have. So I had already gone through that, so I just put things in order of how I use them. Like soup is all together, vegetables are all together, and this is what I will be using first. So either from an expiration date or just because I use it a lot. Up top here, I had already reorganized all of my canning supplies, my dehydrating supplies, as well as my attachments in the box for my KitchenAid. So those I don't use very often, so don't mind climbing on a stool. However, I really only have 2 shelves left. So I want to make really good use of the supplies and how I get them organized so that I can find things easily and I don't have to take a lot out of the closet to get to what I need. So I told you I was going to do it on a budget. So the first thing I've done today is I went through my house. I love to organize so much. Hate to grocery shop, love to organize. So I have a lot of organizing things. And when I decide to change it, yes, Franklin, just a moment. Y'all want cat and some peanut butter and Tylenol. I'm sorry. You go, wait just a minute. Mommy making a video. Yeah. Okay. He wants a drink, like he's dehydrated or something. He likes to drink running water out of the sink. That's his problem. So anyway, I gathered up all of the organizing things that I had used or purchased in the past, and I put them into one big box. So yeah, it looks like something blew up in here, but I want to repurpose those into the pantry. And I also want to take, and I ran out of room on the table, some things out of my Lazy Susan because it's overloaded as well, pardon me, and put in here so that I can see at a glance what I have and I don't keep having to take things out of the Lazy Susan, and also I'm not buying things that I already have. So I am going to get working and then I will bring you back to show you my progress. I did it. So I thought I would bring you back and show you that my house no longer looks like something exploded in it. And I actually did get things organized. So I'll go through it here in just a moment. But I wanted to share with you, in full disclosure, I didn't want to go out and buy like a ton of organizing things. However, if you remember a long time ago when I showed you the magnetic spice tins that stick on the refrigerator, that same company, which is called Talented Kitchen, sells these really cool labels that you can put on containers. Now, not everything I have goes into containers. I have ordered a set from Amazon, which should have been here, but it's delayed, so, you know, whatever. But it gives you quite a lot of these sheets. I did have to laugh because some of the things that are on here, I'm like, really? Like, people buy that? So, and they put it in a container, like, I don't know. It just kind of made me laugh. Lentils was one of them. Not a huge fan of lentils. So I have not finished my Lazy Susan because those are the things like cocoa and powdered sugar and things like that that I want to have a container for to keep it fresher so that I can actually see it when I flip that Lazy Susan. But I did make good progress. So this area here is just an over-the-door organizer. I did install this after I moved in because of the size of the pantry, but I just tried to group some like things together, like, you know, popcorn stuff and spreads like Nutella and peanut butter, honey. You know, I just kind of went down through. I put all of my spice mixes, onion soup mix, Italian dressing mix in a little container there, and then clear on the bottom is my non-fat dry milk and emergency coffee beans because while people were hoarding toilet paper, yeah, I was more worried about the coffee because I do like my coffee. Up at the very top, I really did not change a whole lot. I did add some of my canning ingredients. I do make my own spicy brown mustard. Just put my mustard seed up there. You'll see over here is a container that is labeled pasta. And I tell you what, let me stop, flip the camera around because this pointing is backwards and driving me nuts. So much better. So you can see I just used a clear bin. I put the mac and cheese, elbow macaroni, that kind of stuff that I will eat. You know, in the next little bit, I put into a container. Here, I had this before, and this is where I keep all of like the saran wrap, Glad press and seal my baggies. This is actually something I had that I'd never used. I had to label it this and that, but it's all different kinds of vinegars and oils because I do a lot of home cooking. And so I found I had a whole bunch and they kept getting pushed back in the Lazy Susan. My protein powder, behind that is And I don't know how this is going to work. I think it's going to be fine. Behind that is beverages or drinks. Behind the Lazy Susan are crackers. So I try to put things in the back that I didn't use that often. This shelf, I left the can organizer, but I bought these at Walmart a long time ago, and they're very inexpensive. So again, you don't have to have a Pinterest-worthy pantry to have it be functional. You just want to have things so that you can access them. You know what you have. You're not letting food expire. So I do eat a lot of cereal, so I put my cereal in there. Behind that is a tea box and then an extras basket with additional teas that I don't utilize very often. Here is snacks, so raisins, protein bars, some microwave popcorn, yes, and some Pop-Tarts. Gotta have some Pop-Tarts. And then this area is also what I took out of my Lazy Susan, and I'm so pleased it fit. So my rye flour, all-purpose flour, I use stevia brown sugar in my cereal because I'm dieting, my Sweet and Low, some rice, oatmeal, pancake mix, and there are a couple other canisters, some spare coffee, some things behind there, a pizza crust, so that, it's things I don't use very often, but yet they're in a clear container and I can keep a good eye on them. Down at the bottom, of course, Frankie had to have his own bin, which he's had for a long time, for his cat food. And then, yes, I have 2 KitchenAids. The white one is for Bath & Body products, and this is the one you always see me using in videos. And then back in the back, a couple olive oils. So I use those for soap making, but I also use them for cooking. So I think overall, this turned out super nice. And yes, my table is finally cleaned off and order is restored. So I hope you found this helpful as you prepare for your January No Spend Challenge for those of you that are going to participate or participate at some level, or you just need to get your pantry cleaned out like I did. I was super pleased because I didn't have expired food. I had cleaned my pantry out maybe 3 months ago. The problem I found was it was not organized, and I basically just put things where it fit, so I had to completely like unload the pantry because the shelves are so deep. So anyway, I hope you are well. I hope you are healthy. I hope you are blessed, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, hit that like button. I think it's over here. Leave me a comment. What do you think about reorganizing your pantry on a budget? So I would say I spent under $40. I should have looked that up. Maybe I'll put it in the description box. So I'm very, very glad that it didn't cost me a whole lot, and most of the containers I already had. So I'll see you real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.